in the life of Los Angeles rapper Nipsey Hussle. Police say the 33-year-old was shot multiple times outside of his clothing store yesterday by a young man who then ran to a waiting getaway car.
The Grammy nominated rapper's death sparked an outpour of tributes from fans and celebrities. ET Live host Lauren Zima joins us over the phone to talk about Hussle's sudden death. So Lauren, thanks for joining us. We know Nipsey Hussle was shot in front of his clothing store in LA. But for people who didn't know about him, tell us a bit more about who he was as an artist.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I think what's so incredibly tragic and sort of shocking here, and that's especially why the celebrity community is responding so strongly, is that he is someone who was just hitting the real stride in his career. He was 33 years old, but he actually just released his full debut album, and it got nominated for Best Rap Album at the Grammys just this year. And he was starting to collaborate with these incredible people. He'd done some collaborations before. He was certainly known in the industry, but you know, John Legend tweeted that he just filmed something with him a couple of days ago. Drake Instagrammed that they had plans to work together soon. So he had so much coming up, and he was just hitting this big moment at 33. So I think that's why it's hitting people so hard. And also, he had earned this reputation as someone who, at a really young age, was already giving back to his community in incredible ways. He was shot at this store he owned, but along with being a local business owner in Los Angeles, where he'd grown up, he had started this center where he said he wanted to bridge the gap between Silicon Valley and the inner city. It was a co-working space. He wanted people to come there and get ideas generated. He had plans to meet, a matter of hours after his death, he had plans to meet with local officials and speak about how to get inner city kids pulled up out of violence. So he was someone who, at this age of 33, was sort of on the one hand just hitting the stride in his career. And, you know, a lot of people in the music industry might hit that stride a little younger than that, but then also at 33, at kind of a young age, was already becoming this incredible activist in his community. So he had a reputation for being someone who really was doing things beyond his years for locals and for change, and it's just really hitting people hard for that reason.
Yeah, and to add to sort of the sad irony of this is he was scheduled, I believe it was today, to meet with the police commissioner and talk to him about ways to stop gang violence in his community. So we have an investigation is ongoing now. We know that there was an individual that shot him, and at least what we've heard is ran into a getaway car that was waiting. What more do we know about this investigation?
Honestly, at this point, we don't know much more. We do know that this had been part of a recent surge of violence in the area. The chief of police here in LA tweeted that over the past week there had been something like a couple dozen shootings and at least 10 homicides locally. So this is coming after actually the past couple years of violence in LA and gang violence in LA going down. Gang violence has been down by about 20% over the past year or two. So there was a decrease, but then, you know, the chief of police is tweeting that over the past week there's been this sort of frightening surge, actually. So I think that this investigation is maybe speaking to part of a larger look that they're really taking into what's going on here. And, you know, Nipsey Hussle was not shy. In fact, he was incredibly open about his own past involvement in the gang world. He had been very involved in a gang that he said was kind of one of the strongest Crip groupings in the LA area. He was open about it. He spoke to media about it and to the LA Times about it. And his own past obviously was why he wanted to change things for future generations. He said that growing up here in LA, he lived in one of the worst areas, and he described his childhood as like living in a war zone. He said he'd be riding his bike and he'd get shot at. He said murder was part of his everyday situation that he saw and that he experienced. So he had grown up in that. He wasn't ashamed about having experienced it, and he was working to change it.
You know, Lauren, he was nominated for a Grammy with his last album, Victory, and we just put up a graphic showing all of these artists who are just devastated by this news. His music, did that translate to the life that he had led and the life that he was hoping to lead?
His past, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that he, like I said, he wasn't ashamed of it. He talked about it, or maybe I shouldn't say he wasn't ashamed, but he wasn't hiding it. He wasn't hiding his past. And, you could see, it's sort of like this, this very tattooed guy out on the red carpet. But now living a life he had 2 kids. He was in a committed relationship with actress Lauren London, who has not spoken out yet. And obviously this has all happened. It's really been only about 24 hours, and so we wouldn't necessarily expect her to. I can't imagine what she's going through right now. But, he was someone who also was kind of a bit of a free thinker, someone who was looking at the way that even rap music was gotten to the public in a different way. He drew the attention of Jay-Z and some other people because of the way he was releasing his music. He had released a lot of his music to be downloaded for free, but then what he would do is he would release physical copies in this kind of special collector's edition way, and he could charge up to $100 for a physical copy of his album. So he was changing the game. He was looking at what he'd been through and where he wanted to go and how he wanted to change things for other innovators with doing things like setting up that creative space for, as he said, to kind of merge Silicon Valley and the inner city. So he was someone who's really come from nothing. He talked about that, how he didn't have the rich uncle or, the connection in the music industry to get his career going, which might speak to why at 33 he was really hitting that stride. He worked so hard on his own to get there.
His last tweet, having strong enemies is a blessing. I wonder if he knew of something.
It's so sad and ironic to read that now, isn't it? And it's like we said, it's only the beginning of the investigation, so we'll have to see. But multiple people were shot, he along with 2 other people. So obviously it's an act of violence of a kind that seems to have been. It seems like I would guess it's some kind of a planned attack to have shot multiple people, and we'll see what we can find out from here.
Yeah. Lauren, thank you so much.
Thank you both.